Wakenshaw, and I'm Senior Business Analyst for Serco and representing the Dubai Air Navigation contract, which is the contract that we operate here in the Middle East. My talk today is going to cover off the reporting packs and really that dream to attain those ultimate reporting packs for your senior management and your senior personnel. I'll also be talking through some examples of reporting and some dashboards that we've actually produced ourselves. And also some of the cool things that we've learned to do recently in Tableau and how we've managed to facilitate users' needs. So I'll just give you a brief introduction about who we are as a business and what we do. We're a Serco, we're a FTSE 100 service company. We're based in Hook in the UK, but we have a global reach. I'm part of the Serco Middle East division, where we do aviation, transportation, facilities management. And as I've mentioned before, I'm part of the Dubai Air Navigation Services contract. We're one of the leading regional ANSPs, which is an air navigation service provider. We operate out of the DXB and DWC airports here in Dubai, the DWC being the new one that's being built out in the desert. And DXB now is actually the world's busiest international passenger airport. So in terms of the growth and the expectations that's put on this, it's actually very large. And that's one of the big challenges that we have as a business and how Tableau has actually enabled us. A bit about myself. As I mentioned, I'm Senior Business Analyst. I've used Tableau for over 4 years. I sit within the organization at a management and strategic level. I also work with some operational analysts, but I mainly focus on business performance, KPI performance, commercial analysis, and statistics in that respect. So our Tableau journey today. We purchased Tableau in March 2012. I'd actually used Tableau at a previous organisation that I'd worked in, and I've seen how quickly you can actually get off the road running with the application. So when I came and joined Serco, we were an immature organisation using core management reporting as we've grown very quickly. Everything was being done in Excel. So I quickly recommended that because of the low cost of entry and the speed to implement, that Tableau would be a good solution for us to put in place that we could very quickly get some more professional and strategic reporting produced. So we purchased originally just a minimum. We did just 1 desktop license and 10 server licenses, and we implemented the solution. And very quickly within the summer, we had customer-facing dashboards straight away, and that's how we were reporting our contract performance straight to our customers, rather than sending them boring Excel sheets each month. I've put a little snapshot there, as you can see. This is a snapshot of our server. We have probably in excess of now 200 views on there in terms of the analysis that we're actually producing. We have multiple people now contributing. Originally, it was just myself, but both my team has grown and also the reach of the application across the business. When I first started using the table where we were mainly primarily focused on Excel-based reporting. We had big system implementations, which we actually found it very hard to get data to because Serco is a hub and spoke operation. Even the applications were hub and spoke. We had hosted solutions in the UK that we had then online access to. We had lots of disparate data all around the business, and our contract was growing aggressively because of the new strategies that Dubai put in place for the growth of the country and also the growth of the airport. What Tableau enabled us to actually do in our current situation is we now have our Tableau serving reporting environment where we produce many reports that I'll talk through later on, but we also use PowerPoint for distributing some of those reports, which is something I'm hoping to change on our where are we going focus. We actually consolidate data from multiple different sources now using our big systems. Some of them we can connect directly to, other ones we have data dumps that we're able to take to CSV. We've managed to now have a basic SQL data warehouse where we bring our data collection together, enables us to actually better connect Tableau to, although one of the big advantages we didn't need that originally, we just used to connect straight to our source file. But now we have it much more structured in our nice SQL data warehouse. Where we are right now, we're currently going through a change in the organisation, the fact that Dan now is a standalone entity for the government as opposed to being part of Dubai Airport, which has meant that our organisation is doubling in size. We have a huge number of projects that we're having to run to facilitate the airport's goal to become the largest airport. Where we want to go, we want to have better access to our systems. I've now got SAP and Oracle Business Suite data to look at. We need a bigger data warehouse. And we want to have all of our reporting up on Tableau. I'm working on a project to get our full reporting hierarchy completely built in Tableau. So areas that we use Tableau as a business, I mean, there's very There's very few areas where I don't like to try and get people using Tableau because of the way that we can distribute it across the business, but also in the fact that it's easy for people to use, but we use it across everything: finance, HR, risk, assurance, operational departments. We really cover across all bases because it's really easy to get access to the data and to make something that's bespoke for people. Here's a diagram that represents how we use Tableau at the moment as a business. The diagram starts at the bottom, which represents the various data sources that we have. Some pupils is our data document management system, which is a SQL database. We can look directly to that. Some things are Excel sheets where people will manually enter data. Get CSV files that we actually download, which are then a direct process export. We then automatically put into the SQL database. And all these various data sources then go into our desktop application. Within the desktop application is where we actually build our reports. We have many different data sources in some of our workbooks. I think one of them has almost 30 data sources in. But we're actually then publishing everything up to the Tableau server. And these are the main reporting buckets that I have. I have board packs, contract board packs, departmental focused performance reports, and customer facing reports. But we're actually looking to get more of a slide deck hierarchy structure rather than report structure, which will enable people to chop and change the slides that they need to utilize. As a business, in terms of the distribution and utilization of reports, some people do really enjoy going on Tableau and interacting, but some people actually enjoy the static PowerPoint environment, and you'll often find that from your most senior leaders. They do enjoy to be told things. They like somebody at a middle management or senior management level to go into the slide, analyze the data, and then give them the results. Tell them what they need to know and what action they need to make. And this is why our very senior board packs that we use Tableau to actually create, we do put them into PowerPoint, which enables people to make commentary alongside it, and then we distribute them across multiple sources in that way. I'm going to look at a way that we can get around this by keeping these on Tableau, but at the moment that's something we like to do. And this really brings me on to the methodology of the ultimate dashboard concept. Tableau is an incredibly flexible tool. And one thing you need to be aware of when you're actually using it within an organization is managing people's expectations, using Tableau for what it's best at, and using it appropriately across your business. This diagram for me really best represents how data is utilized to solve problems in a business. You'll have your strategic management team. They like to be told, okay, so great, that's a problem. What do I need to know? What do I need to do about it? They often don't like to have a look around, put some filters on, do the analysis that maybe you or I would like to do. They like to be told facts. Then you have your more tactical middle management. They're happy to do some data query. They're happy to query their department because they're more familiar with the day-to-day operation. They often like something a little bit more detailed, and they'll be informing the board level. And then you have your operational level people in the business, and they love getting their hands dirty in the data. They like to filter, they like to look, they like to build scenarios themselves. They're the people who will be most enthusiastic about Tableau. Your senior manager will be enthusiastic about the fact that they have the insight and the visibility, but the big enthusiasm will come from the information that the operational people and also the tactical people are actually able to generate. So it's really important that you focus where you pitch your dashboards and how the dashboards are structured to get the best use that Tableau and to get the best reception in your business. Here's how I've applied that methodology to the reporting that we do. At a top level, you can see we have our strategic dashboards. We'll have top-level KPI analysis, and then we push these diagrams out into PowerPoint packs, and then people are able to commentate on them and make action plans against them, and this is how they like to use the pack at the strategic level. This is that, okay, so what do I need to do aspect of the report. We have all the packs completely configured in Tableau. We'll then export it to Adobe, and then use Adobe Professional to just convert it straight to a PowerPoint pack. So there is actually very little manual intervention in actually producing this in PowerPoint. It's merely the fact that you will print it to PDF and then use PDF Expert to then convert it straight to PowerPoint. It's a very simple step. So again, Tableau enables us to have PowerPoint-sized PDFs already generated that are very easy to convert. At the level below, we have our tactical performance dashboards, and they actually feed up to these strategic dashboards in terms of some of the elements. We have KPIs in here that are focused around the KPIs that we then push up to our senior level KPIs. So for example here, I've just put some screenshots of our training performance dashboard, which I'll touch into later on as our live example. But our training dashboard is
feeding, as you can see on the first page, it has some elements of KPIs, which will then feed the senior KPIs. And then we go down a level to our operational level dashboards, and these are where people who are actually very familiar with the data will actually delve into their analysis that's familiar to them. So these are a couple of charts and dashboards that were produced by our operational analysts who are very much familiar with APM development. So this is the output version. And they're the people who get really excited about the fact that they can see what would be ordinarily very ugly raw data in a very visual way. So now will be the opportunity where I will walk through the live walkthrough on the training dashboard. So if you're here at the presentation, then you'll be seeing this. So one thing I wanted to do now is to touch on some areas where we've used Tableau in maybe some slightly unique ways. The first example is how we use Tableau to support our project management. Every month, we like to produce reporting which is based on our Microsoft project files. We have 50, 60, 70 Microsoft project files every month that are concurrently updated due to the high volume of project work we're working on. What we do is actually consolidate these each month and extract a CSV file, which is an output of all the resource utilization. This enables us to process a dashboard which produces timelines, task planners, supply and demand. That's some of the stuff that Project Server does itself. However, I can build anything I want from this data as opposed to being governed by what can actually be produced by Project Server. So here's the first snapshot of the one of the dashboards that we're producing. Apologies, I have to blur some of the aspects of this for confidentiality, but this is our project timeline. You can see down the left-hand side we have our projects, but it's showing the resource utilization and the status of the project. People can then select this by department or by resource code, and it really just gives all those project files consolidated together to top-level visibility about what's going on in our business. Here, people are able to query the actual detailed tasks within the project files that are actually happening against their resources. And then we actually blended that data with some of our time-sheeted utilization tools, which enabled to see some supply and demand data. So this chart we generated was actually each individual, the bottom axis represented each individual resource type, so an air traffic controller or an engineer. The various colors represented the resource utilization. And you can see where the line is drawn across is where we're actually busting out of the number of staff that we had. So we use this diagram as part of our business planning. This actually contains 6 different data sources. It contains financial data from our payroll files. It contains HR data from our HR database. It contains Microsoft project data. It contains detailed planning data, all blended up in one chart to show the resource that's expected of our people versus the actual people that we have. So this really helps support us when we're asking for more staff. Another way that we use Tableau is actually we generate graphics for our business planning documentation. We have a desktop publisher who actually generates and creates our glossy documents that we use for distribution. And because of the nature of Tableau, you can actually get very nice high definition quality graphics. So we often use Tableau almost as our mini desktop publisher to maintain the data integrity for the data that we may be producing, but also because it actually looks so nice and we can really custom figure the pixel sizes and the color coding to be just as our color palette is. One of the other things that we like to do is I like to try and find ways to integrate other files that we're using without having to recreate the wheel. Many departments say, can I see the org chart in my dashboard for my particular department? So this is a screenshot of something that we do with Microsoft Visio. Our HR department create our org chart in our Visio. We then ask them to save it as a HTML video file, and then I use that HTML link in a dashboard, and it enables me to then publish that, and people can actually interact with the Visio org chart within the dashboard on the server, which people find very helpful. Something I've been working on at the moment is the concept of Excel in Tableau and Tableau in Excel. So in one of our dashboards on our project, we have our PSR report, which is an Excel sheet that people actually produce in Excel for each individual project. Now, as opposed to, I don't really want to recreate the wheel and actually have that then consolidate and show the picture in Tableau. I just want to show that PSR report. So this report actually, as you click on each project down the left-hand side, this will actually then link to the Excel file that can be saved in a HTML format. So
so you can actually see the live sheet that people have updated from Excel. And it's a very handy way of actually seeing something quickly that you don't need to do further analysis on, but you just need to know what's been written down about that particular aspect. But in the same respect, what we're able to do now is I've written some VBA code. So I actually have Tableau server showing from within an Excel sheet. So here is another example of a project sheet that people would fill in against the project. But whilst they're in that sheet, they can actually query the data against that project within the Excel sheet in the Tableau server. So this image that you can see here is a fully interactive version within an ActiveX web browser piece within Excel that we're able to then produce Tableau reporting on. So you can actually link the project number to the report that is related against it. You can navigate to that report. And then once you're filling in your status report, you can actually see the information that's on the server about that report also. And then you can actually print this together. So as opposed to using some of the graphics and the charts that you're able to produce in Excel naturally, what you can do here is actually generate charts in Tableau, have them located in your Excel workbook, which will be they're much better charts and graphs than you'll be able to generate with Excel naturally. So I think this has been the big things that people have enjoyed, because sometimes people don't naturally want to log onto the server, they don't want to go somewhere else. You don't have to send them somewhere else now. I often have these little charts and pop-ups in the Excel workbook so the guys can see the information right in front of them as they're filling in information. So these are just some of the cool things that we've been doing in Tableau. It's been part of what I do for so long now here at the business. Everything I do, I always end up somehow manage to push it back into Tableau. I enjoy the design aspect of the tool. An opportunity that we don't often get. I quite enjoy the color coding and the design aspect of it. But I'm always looking for new ways that I can organise and do things and use various reporting and data collection in the organisation. But thank you for listening to this presentation, and thank you for your time. Okay, Susie, finished?